Back again with another podcast for you. Another Balcony Chronicles with my wide Churchill cigar, hand rolled from Cuba. Definitely from the Cuban cigar, hand rolled specially. Got this while my mother was actually in Cuba years ago. And I'm just enjoying it because it was her birthday some time ago. So why not? Why not? She got it for me, so I'm gonna enjoy it. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Saturday afternoon? Hope everybody's doing very well. I'm not gonna keep it. I have to shout out a hater on one of my past on my past live stream. This particular hater is probably an old woman. And as you know, the past couple of live streams, I've been hating on the old ladies, the old bitches. That suckers like myself was trying to date, which I don't do that shit anymore because I got my passport. But she proceeded to tell me that I was a little boy and that I'm not even good at doing videos. I've never professed to be doing professional style videos. I'm talking to the fellas. I got an account with YouTube, which enables me to do videos or live stream. Now, I may not be good at it, but I like it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck if I'm good at it or not good at it. I don't even give a fuck if you like it or you don't like it. I have over 1,000 subscribers, and I have loyal subscribers that's been with me since I started this channel, all right? Well, started the channel back when it was Talking Crazy 83 before a nasty ass hole got me shut down. But that doesn't change anything. I'm still around. I'm still doing videos sporadically. And now I got this new series where I'm doing live streams while I'm smoking a cigar or drinking one of my libations, which is a little bit too early for me to be drinking tequila or 12-year-old scotch. But it's never too early to enjoy a nice little Cuban cigar or a cigar on my balcony and talking to the fellas, because that's all I ever wanted to do since the inception of this channel, is to talk to the fellas, particularly black men, right? I don't want to talk to no black bitches. I don't want to talk to white bitches. I don't want to talk to Asian bitches. I want to talk to the fellas, particularly black men, okay? That's all I care about. That's the only opinion on this channel that really counts. A bitch's opinion doesn't count, doesn't mean much to me anyway. Not anymore. And it shouldn't matter to any of you fellas out there. Whatever a bitch thinks is irrelevant to you as a man. Okay? See, I had a relative tried to shame me into dating black women because this relative's perspective, and of course it's a black woman, who stated that white women, Caucasian women, have more options of dating. And that was the reason why she dumped me. That I got, well, she didn't really dump me. She was just too old for me, right? But and that's one of the reasons why I don't really take what women say seriously, and you shouldn't. I didn't argue with this relative. I mean, of course, it was probably one of this par for the course of women thinking. women's logic and some self-esteem issues there. But I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it on this live stream. But I just want to point that out. I just want to discuss that for a little bit about black folks' self-esteem. Your self-esteem goes down. I think, in black society, we have a low self-esteem and we have some mental issues. I'm seriously mentally damaged. I'm seriously believing, based off of all of these videos that I've seen and all of these podcasts, we seem to only be talking about dating. You don't know how to talk to no woman. You're a mark. Look, in the United States, there is a level of game that you have to understand about women. Like, for instance, I was just listening to a rebroadcast of Jason Black on his show, on his channel, The Business, right? And he was talking about paycheck simps or something like that, where there was a video that went viral where this guy who was a stepdaddy telling other black men not to be a stepdaddy. And I'm like, Negro, I've been saying that on my channel for the last 10 years. There is no benefits of being a stepdaddy. But Jason Black, he broke it all down, something that I mentioned years ago, which is simple. You have no, first of all, there is no benefit for a man getting married, all right? For a man to get married to a bitch nowadays, there's no benefit to it, all right? There's no benefit. What do you get out of, what the fuck you get out of getting married to a bitch? You may get children. That's about it. You get children out of it, and that's about it. You get no thanks for it. Now, let's take this scenario. What do you get out of marrying a woman that's already been divorced and had children, or just a single mom that never been married? What do you get out of that? You don't get shit except aggravation. Sent to an early grade, or you wised up like that brother did on that viral video. You wise up. And that's because I can tell there was no man around to teach him the facts of life. See, my father, I love my father to death, but he didn't teach me the facts of life. Only because my mother was the only woman that he married. And that's okay. And that's okay. It worked out. It worked out. It happened to work out. I mean, there's no shame in that. If that was your, look, fellas, that was your own, if you married a woman while you were young, and that was a woman that you had children with, and you've been together for 60, 70, almost 30, 20, 30, 40 years, that should be applauded, because now you have a family. You have established a family, you established a bond. Y'all probably don't even like each other. You're probably, at this point, you probably don't like each other, but you tolerate each other. But that's cool. I think that's a cool thing. Do I wish I had that? No, because I like my life the way it is now. I like it. I love it. I'm enjoying my life. I can smoke my cigar in my house, or I can do it on the balcony, which I choose to do it in my balcony. I mean, you have that sense of freedom. Right now, for me, I have that sense of freedom. Will that change in the future? Probably. but I haven't met that amazing woman that would take me away, that would enhance my wealth, enhance my life. Everybody I've dated has been what is called a liability. See, you gotta understand assets and liability. If you're single and you're collecting assets, cool. Most women are liabilities. There are a lot more liabilities out there than assets to your life. Okay? Now, I'm not saying turn away a woman that's been an asset to you, that's been there for you, that supported you, that made your life, made you more money than you did when you were single. Okay? See, I can't tell you, I wish I can develop the game on how to spot a woman that's an asset to in your life. Okay? Not like this bitch that sent that not like that old bitch that sent that comment to me. Alright? Because I can tell that was an old bitch. Calling me a little boy that never grew up, and I'm not good at my videos. Well, bitch, where's your videos? Where's your video? If you're so good, where's your videos? If you're better than me, if I was the worst you ever saw, where's your videos? And I tell that to anybody that's listening right now. If you don't think I'm good at what I'm doing, where's your videos? Where's your live stream? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat your link to your YouTube channel where you have over 12 million views, 100,000, a million subscribers, and you know, I'll bow down to you. Maybe I'll learn some game from you on how to do this YouTube video thing. I'll pay you for that shit. I'll pay you for your time, your consultation. But until then, shut the fuck up. Because, like I said, I'm just a needle prick on the ass of YouTube in content. All right, meaning I'm a nobody, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. But I'm gonna say in the last 10 years, 11 years, 15 years, or 12 years that I've been doing YouTube videos, I've always ruffled a little bit of feathers, all right? I never said that I was a nice guy. And as a matter of fact, I'm not a nice guy. And fellas, black men, you really shouldn't be labeling yourself as a nice guy. If somebody says to you as a compliment, if they pay you a compliment that you're a nice guy, slap the shit out of them. And let them know that, look, I'm not a nice guy. I'm very respectful, but I'm not a nice guy. See, I was listening to some of the videos of Dan Pena. Some of y'all motherfuckers gotta listen to that. Listen to that guy. You'll get a lot out of being a man by listening to that guy. The way he talks, the way he presents himself. He presents himself like a man. Okay? He broke it down to me when somebody, calling somebody a nice guy, you really calling them or a nice girl, you really calling them an idiot. Because that's what it meant in the 16th century, in medieval time. Nice is an old French word for idiot. Look it up. It was meant to be an insult. That's why I take it as an insult when somebody calls me a nice guy. I am not a nice man. I'm a respectful man. But I'm not a nice guy. Or I will tell you this. I will say I'm a nice guy, but I'm not going to fool around with you. I'm not stupid. I will fuck you up. So don't let nobody call you a nice guy. I'm very respectful. This is a very good Cuban cigar. Woo. I like the taste of this. I wish I had a box full of these. Maybe I need to go down, use my passport to go down to Cuba and get one. Get a box of Cubans. Get a box of Cubans. Lord, I'm crazy. Although they say the Nicaraguan cigars are much better, which they are, and the Dominican hand rolls, I love them. Why Churchill is the name of the company down there in Cuba as well as Nicaragua, right? And it was named after Winston Churchill, who was a big cigar smoker. And when I was in Bermuda, I was talking to the guy that sells the cigars. And the big hand roll cigars were made just for Winston Churchill, only because his doctor told him, you gotta cut back on the cigars, because he was smoking at least 5 cigars a day. He's like, you gotta cut back on the cigars. So he had it specially made that he would have one big ass, long ass cigar that you see on TV or in the cigar shops. Let's see what else we're going to talk about. My channel. Like I said, I'm a pimple on the ass of YouTube. I'm not expecting to grow. If I do grow, cool. If not, whatever. I don't give a fuck either way. I just want to talk to the fellas, alright? But let's talk about Carl Anthony Towns. No, excuse me, not Carl Anthony Towns. I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards, who in the news said, fuck it, let me just go ahead and prepaid my child support to this bitch for the next 18 years. And she better not say a goddamn word to me. Now, listen, if you have the money, I think that's an ingenious move. If you have the money to prepay your child support, but it doesn't work that way, my man. You need to listen to Coach Greg Adams. He breaks it down, the child support laws. It varies from state to state, and they change the rule, they change the laws as they go along. So glad that I'm not involved in that shit. But I was also listening to Kay Zaggy as well. He was like asking the question, how come these athletes are so stupid and so selfish? Why are they going after a strag like this instead of a doctor or a lawyer? Well, I can answer that question for you. A woman that is a doctor, a lawyer, or any professional, or business owner, who have their own money, have their own thing going on, or even a nurse, they don't have time to be hanging around. They don't have time to be a groupie. They don't have time for that. It's usually broke bitches that do this shit, if you notice. They always get, these athletes and entertainers are always getting impregnated by these groupie bitches, these broke groupie bitches. And they're usually as young as 16, 15, 16 years old that are in a group. Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about pedophilia bullshit or anything like that. they're relatively young, and they can be as young as 16, 17 years old, or as old as 40, 39, 40 years old. There's some old bitches out here who's trying to catch an athlete, all right? Because they're broke. And number two, they have what is called their currency. A woman's currency is their youth and beauty. Okay? Youth and beauty. When they get old, that's it. If they still have their beauty, great. But who wants an old bitch? What can an old bitch do for a young man? What could an old bitch do for an old man? Not a goddamn thing. That's why men with some means who are my age, they finally trade up on their wives. And look, Tom Leykis talks about it, right? How men trade up from their wives. And I've seen it. Matter of fact, I've dated women who are divorcees, been divorced married for 28 years, got divorced, and the man married somebody younger than them 3 months after their divorce was finalized. There was a reason why that man got rid of her. There's a reason why. And everybody says another man's trash is another man's treasure, not when it comes to old bitches. Okay? Not from my experience. When you get with an old bitch, there's no, let me tell you something, there's no magic. There's nothing there. There's really nothing there except memories of an old woman. Okay? These old bitches don't fall in love anymore. Because you want to know why? The man that they married, that's the love of their life. The man that they had children with all those years, that's the love of their lives. Even the widow, that's the love of their lives. Is there an exception? Yeah. Let's take a look at, with the only exception about an old bitch is Cher and that young man that she's with for all these years, for the past couple of years. I've seen pictures of them together. I've seen the way she was holding on to that man. Holding on to that young man like dear life, for dear life. When she met him, he didn't have a quarter to his name. At least in her world. I mean, $250 million, $300 million in net worth. Compared to his net worth, that ain't shit. That's a broke nigga. Tina Turner had a younger man. Those are the exceptions to the rules, people. In real life, dealing with an old bitch, there's no magic. The bitch is not in love with it. There's no feelings. There's no love. It's dead. You mean to tell me a 70-year-old woman is going to see a 35-year-old man in real life as the love of their lives? That doesn't happen in the real world. Now, could a man fall in love with a younger woman? Yeah, it happens all the time. It's just that in this country, we get shamed for dating younger women. But we're gonna fuck that up, fellas. If you're my age or a little bit older, your dating criteria should be 25 to 35. Because after 35, that's when the bitch gets old, all right? You just gotta leave her alone. That's an old bitch. Over 35, if a woman is over 35, that's an old bitch. Leave her alone. She's not, especially if she ain't got no money. If she's a broke old bitch, definitely leave her alone. She's no use to you. She's no use to you. She is of no use to you, people. Let me go ahead and talk about Dr. Umar Johnson and his daughter. The woes of his daughter, man. I tell you, man. I tell you, black men, we are every year, every decade, I'm alive. Since the 2000s, we've been catching L's, including myself. All right, we've been catching L's. On my podcast with Terrell Owens and his child support woes, getting locked up behind some child support down in Georgia. To Dr. Umar having issues with his daughter. Now, ain't that some bullshit? This is a man that was preaching that black men and black women should be together. And I'm a coon for messing with snow bunnies, all right? He had this chant, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Okay, cool. And how come you didn't marry none of the two women that you impregnated, Dr. Umar? What happened? He won't talk about it, but I tell you this, must have been some bullshit that these bitches put him through. He just won't talk about it because it fucks up his grift. And it's still, and what this little bitch is doing is not gonna fuck up his grift anyway. He's still gonna be preaching that bullshit. Stay away from snow bunnies because there's not a lot of eligible black men for black women. Now, I do agree with him that black men and black women should be together, but I'm not here to tell you that. You're a grown man. If you want to be with a black woman, and if you're happy with a black woman, cool. Vaya con Dios. If you're happy with a snow bunny, and a black man, you're happy with snow bunnies, vaya con Dios. You're good. I don't really give a fuck. That's not my business. You gotta live with her. You gotta live with her. And like I used to say, if y'all still together at 50, at 70 years old, and she's feeding you jello, and she happens to be a snow bunny, God bless you. Vaya con Dios. Enjoy your life. Fuck what I have to say, all right? Fuck what I have to say or what anybody else has to say. This is your life. You live your life. You only get one life. Live it. Oh, my cigar is almost out. It's almost done. And I gotta get back to work. But y'all fellas out here, I'll be back next week for another Balcony Chronicles. And hopefully the weather is gonna be a little bit better. And hopefully I'll be in town. If not, I'll probably be out of town doing something. I don't know, getting into some bull. Oh no, the tax season is about to end anyway. So I have the whole summer to fuck around and find out. You know, start traveling more. I might have to go down to Colombia and find out what it's all about. I got to talk to my travel agent and see what's popping. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get on out of here. This is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black men, black folks, let's be careful out there and enjoy your life.